Skyscrapers claw at the sky, a concrete jungle teeming with life. This is São Paulo, a city that never sleeps, a place where the air crackles with an electric energy. We're not here for tourist traps and stage smiles. We're diving deep into the belly of the beast, exploring the soul of São Paulo. Over the next few days, we'll be your guides through the chaotic labyrinth of this megacity. We'll wander down streets where the smell of roasting coffee beans mingles with the exhaust fumes of 1,000 sputtering engines. We'll share meals with locals, hearing stories etched in the lines on their faces, stories whispered over steaming bowls of feijoada. So buckle up, kids. This ain't no postcard tour. This is São Paulo. Raw and unfiltered. Welcome to the jungle. Let's get our bearings, shall we? São Paulo sits pretty much smack dab in the southeast of Brazil, not on the beach though. Nah, this concrete behemoth is nestled further inland, about 50 miles from the Atlantic coast. Picture a sprawling urban jungle, a concrete tapestry woven across a plateau, ringed by rivers and a whole lot of green. We're talking the most populous city in Brazil, folks. In fact, one of the biggest on the planet. But numbers only tell part of the story. São Paulo's a melting pot, a collision of cultures from every corner of the globe. This city's veins pump with the lifeblood of immigrants, each wave leaving its mark on the soul of this place. Think Italian cantinas rubbing shoulders with Japanese sushi joints, all within spitting distance of traditional Brazilian churrascarias. It's a chaotic symphony of sights, sounds, and smells. A city that never quite sleeps, always buzzing with a frenetic energy that's both exhilarating and exhausting. Forget everything you think you know about crowds. São Paulo takes it to another level. We're talking over 12 million souls crammed into this concrete jungle, all hustling, bustling, and trying to make their mark. It's a city that pulsates with a raw, untamed energy. You feel it the moment you step off the plane, a palpable hum that vibrates through the streets. It's a city of contrasts. Towering skyscrapers cast long shadows over favelas clinging to the hillsides. Luxury cars crawl through gridlocked traffic while street vendors hawk their wares on every corner. It's a sensory overload, a constant assault on the senses. But beneath the chaos, there's a sense of community, a shared resilience that binds the people of São Paulo together. They say New York never sleeps. Well, São Paulo hasn't even blinked. This is a city that thrives on its own frenetic energy, fueled by countless cups of strong coffee and the sheer will to survive. It's not always pretty, but it's always real. And that's what makes it so damn intoxicating. So you wanna come face to face with the heart and soul of São Paulo. Timing is everything, amigos. We're talking tropical vibes here, folks. Think warm, humid summers that'll have you sweating out your caipirinhas faster than you can say carnival. The mercury can climb pretty high, especially between December and March. But hey, that's what the beaches are for, right? Just a hop, skip, and a jump from the city. You can cool off in the Atlantic, soaking up the sun with the locals. Winter, if you can call it that, is a different story. June to August brings cooler temps and a bit more rain, but nothing a light jacket and a shot of cachaca can't handle. But let's be real, the best time to hit up São Paulo is during festival season. We're talking carnival, baby. Think Rio on steroids. The streets explode in a riot of color, music, and dance. It's a bacchanalian frenzy that'll leave you breathless, and maybe a little hungover. Trust me, you haven't lived until you've danced the samba till dawn in the streets of São Paulo. Listen up, because communication is key, even in a city that often feels like it speaks a language all its own. The official tongue here is Portuguese, but not the kind they sling in Lisbon. This is Brazilian Portuguese, a dialect with its own rhythm, its own slang, its own unique flavor. Think of it like this. Portuguese is the mother tongue, but São Paulo throws in a dash of Italian, a sprinkle of Japanese, a pinch of Arabic, and a whole lot of other flavors for good measure. It's a linguistic melting pot, reflecting the city's diverse heritage. Don't sweat it if your Portuguese is a little rusty. Most Paulistanos, as the locals are called, are used to folks butchering their language. Just try to learn a few basic phrases, throw in a smile and an obrigado or two, and you'll be right as rain. Besides, half the fun of travel is getting lost in translation, right? Now, here's a little history lesson you won't want to sleep through. São Paulo might not wear the official crown, but make no mistake, this city calls the shots. It's the capital of São Paulo state, the economic powerhouse of Brazil. Think of it as the engine room, the driving force behind this South American giant. This city's got its fingers in every pie imaginable: finance, industry, culture, you name it. It's a global player on the world stage, a magnet for big business and even bigger dreams. But beneath the gleaming skyscrapers and bustling stock exchange, you'll find a city grappling with the challenges that come with such rapid growth. Income inequality, crime, pollution. These are issues that Sao Paulo, like many megacities, is wrestling with. But there's a resilience here, a gritty determination to overcome these obstacles. Paulistanos are a proud bunch, fiercely loyal to their city and optimistic about its future. They know that Sao Paulo, with all its flaws and contradictions, is a city on the rise, a city that's writing its own story on the global stage. Let's talk business, shall we? Sao Paulo's the financial heartbeat of South America, a place where fortunes are made and lost with the blink of an eye. This is Wall Street with a Latin twist, baby. We're talking towering banks, a stock exchange that never sleeps, and enough suits to make Gordon Gekko feel right at home. But it's not all about high finance and corporate raiders. Sao Paulo's economy is as diverse as its population, from fashion and design to technology and manufacturing. This city's got its fingers in every pie imaginable. It's a hotbed of innovation and entrepreneurship, a place where dreams are chased with a ferocity that's both inspiring and terrifying. So, if you're looking to make a quick buck, Sao Paulo's got opportunities galore. Just be prepared to hustle. This is a city that rewards ambition and punishes complacency. But hey, that's what makes it so damn exciting, right? Alright, let's talk currency, because nobody wants to end up with pockets full of useless paper. The local tender here is the Brazilian real, pronounced real if you want to blend in with the locals. Now, here's a tip. Don't be that schmuck who arrives with wads of cash and a target on their back. Hit up an ATM or exchange some dough at a bank for a better rate. And keep your wits about you, especially in crowded areas. Pickpockets are as much a part of the urban landscape as street vendors and stray dogs. Credit cards are widely accepted, but cash is still king, especially at smaller joints and street stalls. So, hold on to your wallets, folks, and let's keep the financial misadventures to a minimum. Look, you can read all the guidebooks you want, but to truly get under the skin of Sao Paulo, you gotta understand the rhythm of everyday life. This is a city that runs on passion, on tradition, on a deep-rooted sense of community. Paulistanos work hard, but they play even harder. Weekends are sacred, a time for family, friends, and of course, football. The beautiful game is more than just a sport here, it's a religion. On match days, the city erupts in a sea of jerseys, flags, and deafening roars. Whether you're a die-hard fan or just appreciate the spectacle, catching a game at the legendary Pacaembu Stadium is an experience you won't soon forget. But football's just the tip of the iceberg. Sao Paulo's cultural scene is as vibrant and diverse as the city itself. From world-class museums and art galleries to underground clubs and live music venues, there's something for everyone. Just keep your eyes open and be prepared to embrace the unexpected. Listen up, folks, because if there's one thing Paulistanos know how to do, it's throw a party. We're not talking about your average beer and balloon shindig either. We're talking full-blown, no-holds-barred festivals that'll rattle your bones and leave you begging for mercy. And the granddaddy of them all? Carnival, baby! For a few glorious days each year, the city transforms into a riot of color, music, and dance. Samba schools, thousands strong, parade through the streets, their elaborate costumes and infectious rhythms a sight to behold. It's a sensory overload, a celebration of life itself that'll stay with you long after the last drumbeat fades. But Carnival's not the only game in town. Throughout the year, Sao Paulo hosts a dizzying array of festivals, each more unique and exhilarating than the last. From the Sao Paulo Jazz Festival, showcasing world-renowned musicians, to the Festa Junina, a celebration of rural traditions with bonfires, dancing, and enough food to feed a small army, there's always something to get your heart racing and your feet moving. Alright, let's talk about the good stuff, the food. Sao Paulo's culinary scene is a reflection of the city itself. Diverse, bold, and unafraid to push boundaries. Forget those fancy white tablecloth joints. The real action's happening on the streets, in the markets, in the little family-run restaurants where the food's cooked with love and the portions are big enough to feed a small army. Start your day with a traditional Brazilian breakfast. strong coffee, fresh fruit, and pão de queijo. Those addictive little cheese breads that are like a warm hug in your mouth. For lunch, hit up a local padaria for a mortadella sandwich. Don't let the simplicity fool you. This ain't your mama's bologna. We're talking thick slices of savory mortadella piled high on crusty bread, a true São Paulo institution. And for dinner, it's gotta be feijoada, the national dish of Brazil. This hearty stew of black beans, pork, and sausage is not for the faint of heart, but it's a damn good way to soak up a few caipirinhas. Wash it all down with a few ice-cold beers or a refreshing caipirinha and toast to the city that never sleeps, the city that eats. So there you have it, folks. A taste of São Paulo, a city that grabs you by the collar and doesn't let go. It's a wild ride, a sensory overload, a city of contradictions and endless possibilities. We've walked its streets, tasted its flavors, felt its pulse. But this is just the beginning. São Paulo is a city that reveals itself slowly, like a secret whispered in a crowded bar. So come back soon and explore its hidden corners, its vibrant culture, its indomitable spirit. Until then, keep exploring, keep adventuring, and keep your taste buds tingling. See you in the jungle, amigos.